We're live.
We are live.
Everyone.
Hi.
How are
Happy
you?
September 17th. Holy Casmoli.
Time is just flying by.
It is
Way
flying by. And I am
too
in
quick.
another school year.
How's it going? Did you get good class?
I'm pleading the fifth on that. I will stick to pleading the fifth.
It's too early to tell.
No, it's obvious. It's obvious. But we'll take the high road.
Okay.
How's that?
That is fine.
Ah,
Now I'm trying to figure out how to get everybody on here live. But go ahead.
Okay. So we have two guests here today. So why don't you guys put your names on in the chat so we can see who you are.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Today we are talking about the letter P. Here is Elmo. Yay! Did you see my IG story? Hi, Michael. Did you see my IG story?
No, I'm telling you, I've been so busy. This restaurant thing just sucked the life out of me. So now I think next week I'm going to be in a really good position to get back on track with everything.
All right. I had an IG story with Elmo dancing. He was like,
I didn't.
And
I'm going to have to go find that.
Yeah, go check it out because he's all happy. And I said Elmo was getting happy. But today we are at the letter P, and we are talking one of my actual favorite grape varieties. And it's relatively new to me, actually. I found out about it from some friends who own a winery in Paso, and they planted a whole bunch of it because the owner, he likes it. So he planted it, and I tasted it, and I love it. So now I'm always like looking for it. So when we got to P and it was Picpoul, I was very, very happy. Why don't you want to introduce yourself first, Deb?
Sure. I'm Debbie Giaquindo. I'm known as the Hudson Valley Wine Goddess. I'm chairperson for the Hudson Valley Wine Competition that was just last week. I write under Hudson Valley Wine Goddess, and I'm a blogger. I'm a certified travel I am a certified travel counselor. I don't know where that one came in. I used to own a travel agency for 20 years, but I'm a certified specialist of wine, a wine location specialist in Port and Champagne. I'm co-owner of Happy Bitch Wines, and I'm partner in a restaurant called Kitchen 330 in Stone Harbor, New Jersey that just opened this past March, and will be open through the end of the year. So I think that's it in a nutshell.
Awesome. And I am Lori. My husband Michael and I own Dracena Wines, a boutique winery in Paso Robles. We focus in on award-winning Cabernet Franc. And today is actually the wine club's release. So Debbie, your wine is on its way.
Right.
So today our wine club members are getting the 2016 Cab Franc and the 2016 single vineyard designated Plummer Vineyard Cabernet Franc, and that actually isn't even going to be released to the public until February. So a big head start for wine club.
I can't wait.
In a nice, I love the label. It's gold foil, so I'm really happy with it.
I just made room in my wine cellar for my wine shipments.
Yeah. So Cabernet Franc is what we do. We also have a rosé of Syrah, and we're kind of getting into streamlining for 2019 vintage a white. Tossing up and down what we're going to do, but I've kind of got in my head what we're going to do, but we're going to make sure before I really officially say that. So that is us. So are we ready for Elmo?
We are ready for Elmo. It should be all set up in a
Dance for down now. We're moving our body to the ABCs. Dance nearby. Wow. Dance far away. Now clap your hands. To the letter of the day. Clap, clap. What's the letter? Clap, clap. What's the letter? Clap, 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 clap. What's the letter? 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 The letter of the day is K.
All right. I have to say that might actually be the first time ever that we did it without any issues. It was unmuted. It started when it was supposed to start. It only took us to the letter P. So,
we're not done yet. We
well,
still got our PowerPoints. Don't jinx us, Lori.
That
and
is
I'm not going to knock on wood.
That is true. So anyway, today, right now, I need this. So it is time to drink. It is time to crack open our wine. This is my 2017 Apricity from Four Lanterns Winery in my beloved Paso Robles, California. It is 100% Picpoul, so I'm very excited.
Nice.
As you can see, I did just open it, but it is a little lie because I do know what this tastes like. So,
well, it's funny that you say that. I need the corkscrew for mine. I've got Paul Mouse.
Okay.
Picpoul. And one of the things that I learned with all this is where it's grown in the United States. I always thought it was just grown in France. I mean, I know we've had this discussion, and you said it was grown in Paso.
Yeah.
But it's, I'm not going to say anything because I'm sure you probably cover that. But I was just amazed on where else it's grown. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I don't think I did cover that. Yeah, I did. A little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't look at your stuff, so.
I know that's amazing. We never know what each other are going to say.
I know, and the PowerPoints, we all put it in a Dropbox, and I upload it, and I don't even look at it. It's just, okay, this.
All right. Cheers. Oh, you didn't pour yet. I'm rushing you. Come on.
You are. I'm coming.
All
Cheers.
right. Plancha.
Ooh, that is nice.
Ooh, I love me some Four Lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
General characteristics?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Or should we do history first? Do we normally do history first?
You know what?
I think we do history first.
Okay, you can go.
I think that kind of makes more sense, no?
Okay, I'll drink. You go.
Okay. Why? Well, now that there we go. Okay. So, history of Picpoul. Yay! Picpoul can actually trace its history back to the 17th century, along with claret. It was the basis of the then hugely popular Picardin. The Picardin that was exported from the Languedoc to the northern Europe. Its plantings dwindled after the onslaught of phylloxera and at the end of the 19th century. And then when it got kind of destroyed by phylloxera, growers took advantage of, I guess advantage isn't exactly the best word, but since the vines were gone, they decided to plant more hardier and more disease-resistant vines. So there really was not a lot of Picpoul there left anymore. So this is where we have the beginnings of Picpoul. Records from the early 17th century indicate that it was blended with claret, which is another white Rhone varietal, to form the popular sweet Picardin wine. So now here's the thing. There is Chateau Picardin, and then there's Picardin that is an actual grape variety that is used in Châteauneuf du Pape. So it's kind of confusing, I think, that they allowed that, but that's the way it is. So it is not to be confused with the Châteauneuf du Pape. So the grape was exported to the Dutch wine traders from Languedoc throughout northern Europe in the 17th and 18th centuries. After the Phylloxera invasion at the end of the 19th century, people just didn't really want anything to do with it because it is a very finicky grape. It's a difficult grape to grow. So today it is best known from Picpoul de Penay, and it is known to be a crisp, light green wine of the Penay region of the Côte de Languedoc. So one of the oldest Languedoc grapes, the Picpoul has been growing near the Tau Lagoon for centuries. So that's the little map. Okay. The AOC Languedoc Picpoul de Penay vineyards cover some 1,400 hectares, which is about 3,000 acres, around the Tau Lagoon to the west of the Mediterranean Gulf de Lion. It forms a triangle bounded by the, I don't know how to say this, Agde, Pézannes, and Set, and is the largest white wine producer in the Languedoc. There are 3 different versions of Picpoul. There is the Picpoul Blanc, which I have, and by your glass, I'm saying you have also. Yep. There is a Picpoul Gris, and those are both used in white wine. And then there is actually, and I didn't know this, there is actually a Picpoul Noir. Okay? That is used more as a blending grape, and it's pretty much limited to the southern Rhone. The white version is, or the Blanc, is the most common. As early as 1618, the botanist J.B. Maniol cited Picpoul as one of the best-known Languedoc grapes in some writings that he did. So we know that the grape variety was around since before 1618. It grows in a very dry climate, so the end of the season humidity actually helps the grapes fill out and finish ripening. They grow in very loose bunches and are oval shaped. And what I thought was pretty cool is that they kind of fall off of the bunch themselves. So in older times, they actually just used to go out and put trays under the vines and let the grapes fall, let the bunches fall on their own. They never even really harvested them.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? Okay. Picpoul has a lot of different names. This is just some of them. It goes by Avello, Avio Extra, Feher, Picpoul, Languedocian, Picpoul, Picpoula, Picpoul, Picpoul de Penay, Picpoul Gris, Picpoul Seri, Picpoul, which is spelled completely differently, and then Zerke Picpoul.
So where is that known as?
What?
Where is that? The Zerke.
It's just names that anybody can call them. The only places that I found were specific names were the Loire Valley and Spain. So in the Loire Valley, it's called Follet Blanc.
Yep.
And in Spain, they call it Picpoul. So Picapoull. So Picpoul Blanc is one of the older white wine varieties from the south of France. It is perhaps most popular in the Languedoc-Roussillon appellation. And what you can expect is a shrill, acidic grape, and it actually has rather high yields. So in a loose transition, Picpoul actually means lip stinger. So the lip stinging quality refers to the grape's natural, very high acidity level. So this is why I like it so much. I mean, I am a huge acid head. So the Picpoul Blanc produces wines known in France for their bright acidity, minerality, and their lemony flavor. There are a few producers of Picpoul in the Languedoc, but honestly, it goes to 4 major cooperatives. The bulk of it goes to 4 major cooperatives. Cave de Pomerol in the Côte de Languedoc appellation is one of the better producers, making wine from 100% Picpoul Blanc. However, the majority of the time, due to its high level of bracing acidity, the grape was always used as a blending grape to add freshness to other wines. And it's just kind of recently taking on a new resurgence of finding Picpoul as a single variety. It is one of the 13 permitted varietals in Châteauneuf du Pape, where it is used primarily as a blending component. Most scholars believe Picpoul is native to the Languedoc region of the southern France, where it is still found today. Clos du Pape uses a fairly large portion of the grape in their white Châteauneuf du Pape blend, and which is actually close to 20% Picpoul. And most estates in the region use a lot less Picpoul in their white wine blend. And as I said, it's really more of a blending grape than a single variety. Picpoul has the ability to grow in sandy soils, remaining in the south of France, Portugal, and Spain. And other than those three main regions, it is also planted in the Central Coast of California, with the largest plantings in California belonging to Tablas Creek. And mine is from Four Lanterns Winery. And then the largest in California, I'm sorry, in Walla Walla is the Perrin family estate. They have the largest amount of Picpoul. So that is my history for Picpoul.
Okay.
I feel like I zoomed through that.
I mean, I know you told me that it was in California, but I didn't realize, also Washington. Mm-hmm. I mean, and Lodi. Michael says it's in Lodi too.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's very big in Lodi. Yeah, I do. Just that it's in California, the largest amount of it belongs to Tablas Creek.
Tablas Creek, yeah. So
and they're responsible for bringing in so many Rhone varietals to California. Never mind Paso, but to California.
So shall I start on the characteristics as we are sipping our wine?
Yes.
So one of the things, it's cool how to pronounce it. Picpoul is the right way to pronounce the grape variety. And as you pointed out, it's a lip stinger from the acidity. And I was trying to find a good graphic of a bee sting. So, I didn't want it to sting on the lip. There's all these swollen lips. I'm like, not good. But I too am an acid head and love like nice, high acidic wines, especially in the summertime.
Right.
So
there's a Goldie Hawn movie. I forget what it is, but she's supposed to be an actress in the movie, and she's going through like Botox and silicone in the lips, and in the movie they Botox her lips or inject with silicone, and the next scene her lips are like like out to here.
Yeah. So I was trying to have a nice graphic of something that would be lip stinging. So anyway, so it is a white wine that is crystal clear, which I can see it is a beautiful crystal clear with green highlights. And I don't know if you can see that, the green highlights in it. It really does have hues of green.
Yes.
And I tried to get it on the scale here, but and the next one is the grapes. They grow in loose bunches and they're oval shaped. So those are, nice. Those look like they're nice and ready to harvest right now.
They're getting close. They do look close.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the flavor profile. Just an overall flavor profile is hawthorn blossom. I can never pronounce this. Acacia. A-C-A-C-I-A. Acacia.
I think it's acacia.
Acacia. That's it. It is. You're right. I'm terrible at pronunciation. And then we have some tropical fruit and citrus. So that's just a broad flavor profile. But we'll get into the California profile is a little bit different than the French profile.
Mm-hmm.
So the California profile, brighter acidity, tropical with a long finish. You have some hints of pear, pineapple, and some spice in the nose. Pineapple, some orange on the palate, and sometimes it can finish with a little bit of maybe a pina colada type of flavor. Does yours? Since yours is California, does it have anything like that?
No, mine is more green apple, a little lemon. It's definitely citrusy. I don't know. I guess maybe if I'm really thinking about it, but it's probably because you put it in my brain. I can kind of see a little pina colada on the very finish, but mine is very appley and fresh.
Okay. And one of the things I did find out is the California ones can age a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to lie. That never ages because I'm drinking it too much.
The French profile, we have a citrus, a little peach, some minerality.
That's my profile
fruit,
there.
Green apple. Yeah. I get a little pear on mine, to be honest with you. But I definitely get the citrus, almost like a little lime and orange. And I don't get a lot of, I get hints of minerality, but it's not, there's like no wet stone, nothing strong.
No.
I can just use a little bit of the minerality of it. So that was pretty much
So
it on mine.
Michael reached out to me earlier when he found out we were doing Picpoul, and he said he had just picked up a Picpoul. So, Michael, what can you tell us which one you have? I think you might have already drank it. But
He emailed me after
yeah.
I think he told you. Yeah, tell us about your wine, Michael.
Yeah.
Tell us the flavor. What did you taste, and a little bit about the winery you got it at, or the winery it came from.
Right. So while we're waiting on Michael, I'm going to talk a little bit about my Picpoul here.
Okay. I like the label. I like the colors.
Beautiful?
Yeah, I like the colors.
Yeah, it's a little abstract. I like the apricity as the name of it. And this is completely estate grown. So I actually remember when we kind of first met Steve and Jackie, we were walking around with him on the vineyard, and he was pointing out where he was planting the Picpoul and all that stuff. So I feel like, it's not my vines, but I feel like I was there from the very beginning of, he's building this grape that not very many people have. So it was pretty cool. So Four Lanterns, they actually have a little, dear spot in my heart. We actually know them when Mike and I were both in New Jersey. We used to do a wine and cheese, and we would invite a Weimaraner rescue group to our house, and we would host them. And anybody who wanted to come would make a donation to the rescue group. And then Mike and I would supply some wine, supply appetizers, things like that. And it was basically just a night out for the people. And one night we were having this. A couple was talking. They're like, "Oh my God, this wine is from Paso Robles." And we're like, "Well, yeah, we have a place, blah blah blah." And they said, "My uncle just opened up a winery in Paso Robles." So we started talking like, wow, small world. And actually both of her uncles do have a winery. The other one I think is Two Moons. I think something with a moon. So we were actually going out to Paso a couple of weeks later, and we contacted them and we met them, and they were just opening up their tasting room. So we went in and we were talking, and we had a blast. We spent like hours there with Steve and Jackie showing us around the tasting room, which is on 46 West, pretty much right across from Niner. So if anybody is in Paso, you know Heart Hill Vineyard, because that's the heart, the trees of the heart. And right across from them is Four Lanterns. And they, that day, we were like helping them clean glasses to start up their tasting room. It was their first day open of their tasting room. So it is a very, very wonderful memory for us. So the property itself was actually originally terraced for an apple farm in the early 1900s. And then in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the property was revitalized with the creation of Sycamore Farms, which was actually an herb farm and a vineyard. In addition to Picpoul Blanc, Grenache Blanc, Mourvedre, and Claret. And then they have Ugni Blanc. I don't even know what the heck that is. So next time I talk to Steve or Jen.
It's grown throughout, like Italy. It is in, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I want to say, is it part of Saturns?
Is it?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I couldn't be wrong because sometimes everything runs together. But yeah, Uni Blanc is big.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to find out more about that. They also have 30-year-old Viognier and Syrah vines. And they make, actually, I don't know if they're still making it, but a couple of years ago, they bottled an unfiltered Viognier. And we loved it. It was fantastic. So Steve and Jackie Gleason purchased the property in 2013. In addition to expanding and improving the vineyard, they created Four Lanterns Winery, which is actually named after their four daughters. They completed the construction of the production facility in 2016 and just in time for harvest, so they were able to get their 2016 harvest fully onto their facility. And so now they can do their estate wines. They live in Templeton Gap, and they actually have a vineyard, a smaller vineyard by their home in Templeton Gap for a Bordeaux variety. So they initially were all Rhone, and now they're moving on into some Bordeaux varietals. It resides on 35 acres on the west side of Paso Robles, and that part of Paso Robles is known as Willow Creek AVA. So they are kind of far away from us because we are in the Estrella district. And as anybody who's ever been to Paso, it's kind of all the same. We're known for the very hot days and cool nights and the calcareous soils. So that is about Four Lanterns, and I love Steve and Jackie, and I love this wine. It is phenomenal. It is apple. It's like a green apple. It's very citrusy. It's got a little hint of lime in it, and the acidity is just beautiful, and the finish just lasts. And it's not like the finish it stays there, and it just kind of lingers gently and keeps reminding you that it's there, and then pretty much just says, hey, you know what, pour yourself another glass because this is really good stuff. It really is. This is wine we buy year after year, vintage after vintage. We really enjoy it. So that is Four Lanterns Picpoul.
So I've got Paul Mass Estates Picpoul. So I sent Paul to the liquor store, and he came home with that. And I couldn't believe he came home with that because I really like Paul Mass. For those of you that don't know, he's also behind the Arrogant Frog label, which I'm in love with the frog. So I'll make that publicly known. Me and the frog, we're having an affair. But So, but I'm really impressed with Jean-Claude Moss. He is fourth generation, comes from a family of fourth generation. They were grape growers, but he is the first generation winemaker out of his family. And he started Domaines Paul Moss, and it has grown over the past few years. It is in the Languedoc region of the south of France. Started it in 2000, and he sources grapes from the highest. Sources grapes from 12 privately owned estates, and as well as premier growers in the Languedoc region to make his quality wine. Named after Moss family home, Chateau Paul Moss and Paul Moss estate wines showcase the terroir, complexity, and style of the Languedoc estate, superior to winemaking. So this is 100% Picpoul. This vineyard that the grapes come from lie along the Mediterranean Bay of Tau, and this area nearby the village of Pinet has predominantly limestone soil with red soils in some parts, and the vineyards have been planted here for nearly 2,000 years. So here's mine, and
we have similar. They are similar in color.
Yeah, it's just the way it's clear.
Yeah.
Really impressed. I do get some floral notes. A little bit of orange in the nose. Some pear. The acidity stings on the finish. It's not like extremely acidic like you would think wines from Galicia, Spain are, okay. Albarino, but the acidity kind of comes back in this wine and hits you on the finish. Pear, lime, citrus flavors. I don't get any green apple.
No, this is.
Yeah. But on the mouthfeel, it's very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Very smooth. Kind of romantically smooth.
Yeah, I love this grape. I really do. So Michael, actually, he put in our chat the link to his post that he posted, I guess, last week about Picpoul. And I'm just going to read a little bit of it, his introductory, so that people can get used to it. So he is California Wines and Wineries. So everybody can find Michael at californiawinesandwineries.com. And his Picpoul was actually from Acquiesce Winery. And so he starts off with, when Sue Tipton founded Acquiesce Winery, she was on a mission unique to Lodi AVA and, in fact, most viticultural areas. She sought out to offer the white Rhone wines. She was chastised and admonished by why she should not focus on a solely white wines. Yes, based on her passion and life experience in France, she proceeded without wavering. She sourced and planted the best vines from the Château de Beaucastel of Châteauneuf du Pape on her quest. Today, she has and continues making artisan and award-winning boutique wines. Her awards are too numerous to list, but include International Women's Wine Competition Gold Medal, California State Fair Commercial Wine Competition Gold Medal, American Fine Wine Competition Double Gold, and San Francisco Chronicle Wine Competition Gold Medal, plus many more. So when he visited, he got to taste Grenache Blanc, the Picpoul Blanc, Roussanne, Viognier, Claret Blanc. And I'm going to scroll down. He's got a beautiful picture of her Picpoul. And let's see if I can get his. The scope of meeting with Sue was to taste two unique varietals, which I was personally not familiar. The first was a Picpoul Blanc. Visually, this varietal is faint and almost translucent with pale yellow hue. On the nose, pineapple was the predominant scent, coupled with minerality. Picpoul means to sting the lips, yet this wine was much more embracing and had a disguised light sweetness. This wine was made to pair with oysters in Europe. Sue also believes in the New World. It is an excellent with spicy Thai food and dishes with cilantro. In 2017, only 220 cases were produced and all going to wine club members. In 2018, upon expected yields, she's looking to increase that number to 350 cases. As an aside, approximately only 40 acres are planted with this grape variety in the USA. So if only 40 acres are planted, I honestly think Topless Creek probably has about 38 of them. So thank you, Michael, for sharing the link to your website and your information about the Picpoul. That is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
I have to say I have heard quite a bit about Acquiesce. There's quite a few of our friends that have written about them recently, or read about her recently. I honestly have not had the pleasure of trying any of her wines. So I guess I need to get that changed and try to find myself some, and especially since she's got a Picpoul, I've got to give that a shot.
That's right.
Have you tried it? Any of her wines?
No. Though I did click on to Michael's post, and she looks very familiar.
I don't know. I wonder if she was at the bloggers conference in Lodi, but you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. I don't remember her from the bloggers conference, but that was my, I don't know. There's probably a lot I don't remember from that conference. But yeah, so thank you, Michael, for sharing that.
Thank you.
We are going to move on to food pairings.
Let's go for it.
Okay. Winephabet food pairings. P is for Picpoul. Okay. Here we go. Let me tell you. While I was doing research for food pairings, because in my mind, food pairings with Picpoul are spicy Thai. I kind of equate it to kind of like a Gewürztraminer, that's where I was going with it. But not at all what I found research wise. Like nobody, I was so happy that Michael said, Thai food and things like that, because that's where I would go with it. But so this is Alaska King Salmon Fillet Oscar. And if that looks good to you, there is the website right there for you to go to get the recipe. I do notice that there is asparagus underneath, and my guess is that is like a garlic mashed potato underneath there. So if you just...
I think it kind of looks more like a tartar sauce type of thing.
Do you? No, I think it's garlic mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Well, in my brain, it's garlic mashed potatoes.
Okay, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. So whoever wants to make this meal, just don't ever let that fish touch the asparagus and my garlic mashed potatoes, and I will be right there over to eat that. Okay?
So you want that dish minus the salmon?
Yes, and I don't want the salmon anywhere near my dish. Yes. Okay, next up is crispy Parmesan swordfish with a creamy, and I never say this correct, Aioli.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah, Aioli,
Yeah.
I think is what it is. Dipping sauce.
Paul says it correctly. I can't say it.
Yeah. So does Michael. He annoys me.
Those would make a good appetizer.
Yeah. Well,
like, especially like on New Year's Eve or something. They look like tater tots.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't eat that stuff, but crispy Parmesan, like I'm thinking if that was potatoes, you can tell I kind of have a starch problem.
I'm not a big swordfish person, but something like that I might eat.
Yeah. So again, there's the recipe for you. Skillet Sea Scallops. Okay. Again, that beautiful pasta that's right there. I'll take that minus the sea scallops, and I would. That, you do or you don't?
I do. I love sea scallops.
Does that look good to you?
That does.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. But I'll eat the spaghetti. I can see it
very nicely with this.
I have actually eaten a scallop. There's a couple of times that my wonderful, loving husband has kind of like, just taste this. And I did. And scallops was one of them. And I will never, ever put another scallop in my mouth after that. But yes, I can see it going with it, especially more how people have talked about what scallops taste like or whatever. But I thought it sounded like a very nice recipe for it.
Looks good.
Okay. Rice with clams and chicken paella.
I can see that.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Not happening, but I can see it.
It's happening in my world, in my food world.
Yeah,
I do that, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a very pretty dish. And I think it's got I think it's got a lot of potential, and from how the Picpoul tastes and how people explain paella and clams and all that stuff, I get it. I think it's a good pairing. Oysters.
I can see it with oysters.
Yeah.
But I can see it with Alfredo, the acidity with the cream.
Yeah. Now this is my jam right here. Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. I am drooling over this pairing. Okay.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
I am drooling over this pairing. I think this would go incredibly, like, out of this world amazing pairing is fettuccine Alfredo. And I am a huge fettuccine Alfredo. In fact, when Mike and I got married, they're like, oh, what does the bride want? The bride wants whatever, and we were choosing for the meals. There was a fish dish that they could choose, a steak dish that they could choose, and a chicken dish. And I was like, well, can I get something else? And the guy was like, yeah, the bride can get whatever she wants. And I went, I want fettuccine Alfredo. And
did they make it for you?
Well, yeah, but I think he fell off of his chair because I think he would have expected, like, typically it would be like something a little bit more elaborate.
Filet mignon and lobster.
Yeah, right. I wanted fettuccine Alfredo. That man, I think he made me 5 pounds of fettuccine Alfredo just for myself. That plate was like so
I like
good.
Fettuccine Alfredo a lot. A good fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah. So this to me, I think this is a fantastic pairing. This is my pairing of choice. And
I was just thinking carbonara too when you were on that, going, that would really taste good with carbonara.
Yeah, pasta carbonara. I think that's my second. I think that's also an amazing pairing. But I've got to go back to the fettuccine Alfredo with this is just incredible. But I do think pasta carbonara would be pretty darn good with this.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my pairings.
Now I'm hungry.
Michael says the sea
I'm
scallop.
hungry for fettuccine Alfredo or carbonara.
Okay, so what?
I'm hungry for fettuccine or Alfredo or carbonara.
Yeah. I made. Listen to me. I had cheese and crackers for dinner. I made cheese and crackers.
I had chicken.
Michael says that you say it aioli.
Aioli. Okay.
Aioli. And the sea scallops look the best.
They did look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I can never cook scallops where they get that crispiness on it. Probably because they're not dry or something. I don't know. I've watched the chef cook them at the restaurant. I've watched Gus cook them, and I don't know. Those are just things I have to eat out because I just can't cook them. So
it looks like we are up to 5 fast facts.
5 fast facts. Okay.
Strong A. Oh, A. Oh, okay.
Aioli.
Mike, you're very good at teaching us how to say things through typing. Thank you.
So, okay. So once again, I have it. It's pronounced Picpoul. So there is the red version, which is Picpoul Noir. They also make a rosé version. And then the white version is Picpoul Blanc and Picpoul Gris. And Picpoul Gris is, I want to say a little bit, it's on the rare side. You're not going to really find that. It's probably used more in blending. I have not seen a Picpoul Rosé, but they do make that.
I'm curious because I have not seen one either. So I'm curious how they're making that rosé. Are they just doing the lower skin contact of the Picpoul Noir? Because there doesn't seem to be a lot of Picpoul Noir out there.
I don't know.
Like that's what makes it tough to make a rosé. If there's not a lot of red fruit out there, this is wrong of me to say, but my guess is that it's probably a bleeding from the Picpoul Noir. I can't imagine that.
That's what I was thinking too.
I can't believe that they're picking Picpoul Noir just for a rosé.
Just for rosé.
Doesn't be enough out there for them to do that.
Right, because it's very small plantings. So Tablas Creek.
Cheers to Paso.
That's right. Tablas Creek is the largest planting in California, and they're the ones that brought over, and started planting Picpoul. And it's also grown in Walla Walla. Gramercy Cellars in Walla Walla is one of the producers of Picpoul in Washington State.
Right.
And here is Picpoul Blanc. You like my beach pictures?
I just was going to say, way to rub in the beautiful beach picture there. Nice.
That was dinner on the beach. Picpoul Blanc is the key grape in the AOC Picpoul de Pinet in France. There are 1,500 acres planted of Picpoul in France, with 1,450 acres in the Picpoul de Pinet appellation. Let's see. And there is Picpoul Noir, and it is a blending grape in Châteauneuf du Pape. And it's used for blending because of its acidity. And one thing that I did learn is that Picpoul Blanc should be drinking. You should drink it the first 3 years after its release. So it is a drink now type of wine. It's not something that you're going to want to cellar.
That's best. You don't want to last. It doesn't want to last. You want to drink it and drink it and drink it.
No, you want to drink it now. Don't cellar it. Although they say that the California Picpouls can age. I don't know if I would age them more than 5 years.
I think you would probably lose some acidity.
Yeah. But I would definitely. Now mine's a 2000. I think mine's a 2006. Mine's a 2016. You have a 17?
I have a 17. My 16s were gone. So
it's definitely, you want to drink it now. So when you're out there in the liquor store and you see a 2013, got to question why it's on the shelf so long.
Yeah, might want to keep on walking.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's so nice, Michael. I want to thank you both for I would not have gone after Picpoul if it wasn't for you two. Aw.
Thank you, Michael.
Aw. But I do
We
love to see that your
appreciate
comfort
you
zone is
joining
Cab
us.
Franc. I do love to
And
see
actually, I was really honored that you sent me the email telling me about your Picpoul. I was just like, I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh,
that. I know.
you know? So thank you too for joining us
Thank you.
and
So,
learning with us.
yeah. So next month, Debbie and I are racking our brains because we are up to the letter Q. And being the personality that I am, I refuse to jump over that. I refuse.
And I say we can jump over and go to R and then go back to Q when we find
the alphabet does not do that. No, I refuse that. I refuse to ignore it and come back because honestly, if we ignore it and come back, that means we could find something now. Okay, so no.
So we need a Q. We need a
Elmo
wine.
is saying no.
We need a grape varietal, a region, something that begins with Q for next month's Winephabet Street.
So here's our big dilemma because we do know that we can talk about QMP or QBA. Okay.
But we've done that.
Right. We have talked about that in when we did the letter K for cabinet. So I would prefer not to do that, but I would prefer to do that over skipping the letter Q. We also have found that there is a Quartz de Chaume in France and Côte de Quercy. However, we have no access to the wines that are there. So we could not do a tasting. So my other thought, and I'm just springing this on Debbie right now,
Okay.
that we talk about one of those regions, okay? But
Okay.
our wine is off the charts, something different. Just whatever we want in the wine. That's a way to do it. Okay? But if anybody is watching this, listening to this, whatever, and has an idea for us, please let us know. And
I might suggest quintessential best wine. So
quintessential best wine. What, I don't know what that is. Is that a
that
wine?
means our best wine.
You know what, Michael? I might have to love you. I might have to, there might be a little love going out to you. That's a good idea, right? So we choose one of those regions. We discuss that region, but we choose our quintessential best wine.
Oh, that's going to be tough.
Now, yeah, it is tough because well, we're gonna take Dracaena wines out of the picture for now. But that is a good idea. But I think what I'll do also is send out a couple of tweets.
Yeah, I think I will too.
Send out a couple of tweets, maybe do an IG story asking people, give us the letter Q that we can actually do. And my other issue is I don't want to do a wine. I thought maybe a winery that starts with the letter Q, but I don't want to do that because we're not sponsoring, we're not getting sponsored, so I don't want to make it seem like we are promoting a winery that we're not really promoting. So anybody has any ideas on
Just
YouTube?
email one of us.
Down below, leave us a comment on our YouTube channel if you've got an idea for us kind of quickly because we've only got a month.
Yes, we got it.
But the good news is we do know what R is.
Yes, Roussan.
R is going to be Roussan. So that is good. All right. So thank you to everybody who's joined today and who's going to listen in the future.
To everybody who's watching us on the replay.
And thank you so much to Michael for not only teaching me how to say aioli, but supporting Winephabet Street.
Yes,
and
thank you, Michael.
for letting Cab Franc be a major fan, or you being a major fan of Cab Franc. And yes, I hope you can taste our wine one day also. And Debbie, anything else?
I don't think so, everybody. Just have a wonderful week. We'll catch you back here in 4 weeks. And of course, I don't know what day it is because I don't have. Oh,
Debbie, you're the calendar person.
Hold on. It is 15th.
October 15th.
Monday, the 15th of October.
All right. Just when I'm coming back from California. Yeah.
Is that is that a Monday that you're coming back?
Oh yeah, I'll be in at 5:30 in the morning.
Is that Columbus Day?
No, it is not. We are actually doing a pouring event in Napa.
Nice.
Yes, on the 14th. And so I am.
Do you want to make it the following week?
No, because then that messes up my wine writers wrap up.
Oh, all right.
So I am flying out on Saturday morning. The event is Sunday afternoon.
Oh my.
And I'm flying back Sunday night and going right to work from. So, yes. So.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one burning the candle at both ends.
Got to do it. Got to do it. 2 more years. So, not that I'm counting. Anyways. Well, thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Winephabet Street. Elmo says thank you. He's very, very happy that you visited. And join us next month on October 15th. And we'll see you then.
Yep, we'll see you then. Take care, everyone. Bye.